city meeting open for July. I call the meeting open. I'll open with a word of prayer real quick. Lord, thank you for this day, and thank you for the ones that are here tonight, Lord. Lord, just go with us and lead us and help us make the right decisions for this city tonight, and bless the ones that are here tonight, Lord. And thank you, Lord, for blessing this nation one more time. In thy name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Diane, you want to do a roll call?
Yes, sir. Mayor Odom,
Here.
Darrell Ellison,
Here.
Ron Bumpus,
Here.
Kenneth Donovan, David Wood,
Here.
I'd also like to acknowledge Leslie Rucker, city mayor, myself, city recorder, Sid Vinson, city attorney, attending remotely, Jacob Schultz, fire chief, Michael Westerman from Rye Engineering, and members of the public.
Okay. I need first thing on the agenda is approve last month's minutes, June's minutes of the regular meeting.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
We got a motion and a second.
Okay. Mayor Odom,
Yes.
Darrell Ellison,
Yes.
Ron Bumpus.
Yes.
David Wood,
Yes.
4 yeses, motion passes.
Now I need a motion to approve the special called budget meeting we had.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We got a motion and a second.
Vote, Mayor Odom,
Yes.
Darrell Ellison,
Yes.
Ron Bumpus.
Yes.
David Wood,
Yes.
4 yeses, motion passes.
Next thing, we got public comments. Let's see. It's gonna take a little while.
The first one is for agenda items, and then one for non-agenda is at the bottom. So if you want, you can recognize Mr. Parrish.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, this at the bottom anyway. Okay. Ryan Engineering, you have the floor.
Okay. So our report, we'll just go through the ARPA project, rural development project, the Sykes Boulevard development, the IPG, and the HART grant, which is a new item. But first, we'll start with our favorite project, the groundwater well.
Right.
So they're still drilling. It's on the way to drilling this new hole. They've encountered 4 additional voids that were not there in the hole that's 12 foot away from it. So not a bad thing. It means more, potential for more water. The bad thing about it is that it's harder to drill whenever you run into voids. So, they encountered those voids. They tested it. We went ahead and pulled water quality on those and got them sent to the lab because, we don't want to waste any more time than what we already have. So we're waiting on those results back from the lab. And so once they were able to pump test it roughly around 60 gallons a minute, what we had before,
Yep.
With the potential to be more once they keep drilling down all the way to 400 feet. But they pull back out, and then with those voids, basically what happens is they drill open hole until they run into a void, and if it allows it, they continue drilling, but sometimes they just can't because they're not getting the slurry back out to allow it to continue drilling, so they have to case that off in order to continue drilling. That's what they're doing now. They're about at 175 feet, and the voids are at like 204 feet, basically is where they end, so they got to get that casing down past those. Then they can go open hole again. I think that by the end of this week, they'll have it all the way to the bottom if they don't encounter more voids. But that's sort of what we're looking at right now. I'm pretty optimistic that if we get down to the bottom, we'll get that other zone that we got before, which was, 30 gallons a minute. So I'm hoping that we'd be, somewhere in the ballpark of 90 to 100 gallons a minute rather than just 70. But that's where we're at. on that. They were back out drilling today, so hopefully by the end of the week they'll be at the bottom. Is what I'm hoping for. National Water, they will be mobilizing some equipment at the end of this week to start the clearing. So, mobilizing equipment at the end of this week, hopefully starting clearing next week on the trees that they got to clear on Mr. Phillips' property. And there's a couple big trees that they're going to have to get cut down by, a tree surgeon or something off of Telegraph there. So all that stuff will be going. We sent in the TDOT permit to cross the road there today. So they should be, whenever they email, they'll also just email you, I think, as the city. They won't copy us. So if you do get that, just forward it our way. But that's where we're at on that. And, as soon as we get that water quality back, we're sending it to the state and they should approve the transmission line plans, but that's what we're waiting on for it. So that's basically.
About how long does that take to get a water sample?
So basically they have to pull, there's like 36 tests they have to do. Some of those tests can take over a month to do, but the majority of them only take a couple hours to do. So what we're asking of the lab is to send us what they already have and not wait the full allotment of days to, hopefully we can just send in partials to the state and they'll let us get it approved. But that's what we're working with now. They technically have a due date of August, like the 1st of August, to get those back to us by, but that would be ridiculous. So hopefully we'll get those sometime. I'm hoping this week, but we'll see. But that's all I have on the ARPA project. Any questions there from anybody? Okay. On the rural development project, still underway with the environmental and the PER. I think somebody reached out with us today about some questions we had on some items, so we'll just have to have those for the PER. But that project, once again, is the rehab of Gray's Crossing tank, upgrade of the high service pumps, and new water meters. As far as the audit goes, do we have the most recent audit or is it still in limbo?
I'm hoping within the next 2 weeks, we'll have the 24 audit.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. So that's all on the USDA project. Sykes Boulevard development, that's what we had the planning commission deal for earlier, but plans and specs have been approved by TDEC. And so now we're at a point to where we just have to sign a developers agreement between the city and the developer. And that developers agreement is ready. But basically what we're waiting on is Brian, the developer, to get his estimate together on how much it's going to cost. We have to review that. And then he has to get his bonds after he's pretty much good to sign anytime. He said that he would like to wait till he gets a few more quotes back before he, moves forward with it. But basically, he's in the clear to sign anytime. So I'm sure he'll be signing sometime within the next week or two. And then we just have to wait on that performance bond in order for y'all to sign. But then we'll be good to go and he'll be good to start construction.
So can I speak? We'll need to get a motion and a vote to accept the plat map that he presented at the planning commission meeting. So the board has to approve that. And then we can either approve the development agreement upon the bond. And then once it's, once he does what he needs to do on his side, then we can just go ahead and get it signed and we'll be ready to go with that. So you can either wait until, he comes back with his bond. It might be next month or whatever. But we do need to get a motion and a vote on accepting the plat map that he presented to the planning commission.
The same thing the planning commission just
Yes.
voted on.
Mhm.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the plat from planning commission earlier.
We have a motion.
Second.
We have a second on the Sykes Boulevard development plat.
Vote, Mayor Odom,
Yes.
Darrell Ellison.
Yes.
Ron Lopez.
Yes.
David Wood,
Yes.
4 yeses. Motion passes.
Okay.
And then, Leslie, I don't know, are y'all wanting to just wait until the developer gets his stuff before y'all pass anything on that, or just make it contingent
That's
upon?
completely up to the board.
Okay.
I mean, they can do it,
Yeah, I think we make sure he's got a bond.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Y'all just want to table it till next
Yeah.
meeting then, and then we
That
can
works for me.
review.
That works for y'all. I mean, it's up to y'all.
yeah, it'll stay on the agenda, so.
Yeah,
Just-
that works. All right.
He should have his bond, but
I would say so.
Yeah.
Yeah, by next month. I would say so. So, all right. Moving on to the IPG grant. I think RFQs are out and I don't know when they close, but it's sometime the
24th.
24th of this month. Okay. So once those RFQs, go, and then the city has to vote on who does it, whatever, and then we'll get contracts signed and all that stuff, and we'll get going on that project. So, and then the last item there is a new item, the HART grant, Healthy Active Rural Tennessee. That's something that Leslie caught on to from the development agency, I guess. They kind of send these things out, but basically there's a grant opportunity available for rural Tennessee. They have this HART grant, Healthy Active Rural Tennessee. It basically incentivizes municipalities and stuff to upgrade infrastructure or anything that could make people more healthy. That's sort of how I interpret it. But what we had talked about with the grant administration is basically out here at the what's it called, the Herb
Gould
Yeah.
Veterans Park.
the Veterans Park out here, basically adding exercise equipment, maybe a walking trail or something to incentivize people to utilize that area more for that sort of stuff. So we sent in a grant application, and we're just waiting to see if they give us a grant or not. I don't even remember. Did it have any match? Maybe 10%?
No, it
or
was
something?
150,000.
Yeah.
And then phase A was actually I guess you'd call it blueprint. You can have an engineer firm come in and do the planning.
Mhm.
Know what you want the park to look like within the next 5, 10, 20-year plan. And then phase B was where you can add adult exercise equipment. And so there's 2 different phases in the grant.
Yeah. So just a waiting game to hear back if we get that or not, but it's applied for, so we'll see. We'll see. That's all I have.
anybody got any questions for Michael while he's here? On any of the topics he just discussed? As far as the well, I guess our time is getting close.
Yeah, it's it is getting close, and that's one thing why we're trying to push them to, that's the thing with TDEC, is that we got to have those water quality before they approve the plans, so that at least we can get them out there clearing, getting that stuff done. But if they can get that well finished by the end of this week, first of next week, I still have a pretty good, outlook on being able to get done by the deadline. So.
Okay. Anybody else got anything? Not. We appreciate you being here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Micah.
Next thing is communication from the mayor. I don't have anything. City manager.
Yes, Mr. Parrish is here. He needs to speak with you all concerning the additional funds that the city requested. Mr. Parrish, would you like to come up?
You got the floor.
Be glad to.
If you don't mind, sir, will you is the microphone on? Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and sit right there, and that way thank you.
Okay. At the last meeting, when we were here in May, we asked to extend or ask for permission to increase the grant funds, and we sent a letter to TDEC, and the Office of Outdoor Recreation, asking for that increase, and we got a partial amount back. They said that we could, said that 5% is all they could go above what the grant was, so that'd be $2,500. That's not where we need to be at. They did say in the letter, said that and this is one of the recommendations I want to make to the board today, is that we could apply for future grants to do that. What I would like, you got 3 choices. Turn it back in, pay the difference, or try this philosophy here. We can take and turn in for scope revision and say we don't want to do the playground, right now, we want to do the ADA parking area and the walks to that. And use this $25,000 that we've got for that part. And then next grant round, which will be announced probably after close to the end of this year, we could apply for a grant for the ADA area in the playground itself, the safety surface there, and match that and get the full amount to do that with. That would be my suggestion to y'all, is we would send a letter in and ask for a scope change and use that strictly for upgrading the ADAs that we want to do here. And then next year or the end of this year, apply for a new grant.
Yeah, that sounds, we don't want to turn no money back in.
And we talked about this when her and I talked. We got the money to do that with, and we can do a little bit, maybe a little bit more
Right.
to that. We don't have the money to do the playground the way we want to do the playground. And so in
So
doing
maybe
that,
by the next grant, maybe we could get enough money to do the playground
Yeah.
or close.
but what I will have to do is, and I'll draft a letter to you, if that's the way you want to go, asking that we do a scope revision for the grant, for this grant, and pull out the playground safety surface and do the ADA walkway and ADA parking area there for that. And then we'll have to wait for the approval on that from them, and then we can start.
Before we go to discussion, what do y'all?
I don't want to do the playground and settle and do it wrong like we don't want to. You know, I mean, I'd rather get the ADA sidewalk and everything ready to go, and then when we're ready to do the playground, we do it the first time the right way, like we want to do it. Instead of,
Are the chances good of having the scope changed to be able to do that?
I don't think, Michaela and I have talked about this on several occasions. And she says, you know, in there, she says the town can apply in a future grant cycle to upgrade. I would say you got a 95% chance to get the scope changed and the new grant at the next grant round. Now that's me. Now I can't, and I'm not trying to put words and thoughts into your head, but the scope change is not going to be a problem. I don't think it'll be a problem at all. Because they don't want us to send the money back to them neither. They want you to spend the money. And we're going to spend part of it, if not more, than we anticipated in the first thing is about adding
I
other.
mean, I feel like the funds will be used with the concrete alone.
Just the
And after
concrete
that
will be,
point, the funds are spent. The
Yeah.
scope itself has already changed at that point. Because we've already spent what the grant funds we have in addition to our match, so.
Right.
But to make it official.
that would be
we
nice
need
to have some concrete poured out there, where they can roll a wheelchair or whatever through.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. From wherever, we may want to put 2 parking spots out there. We may want to put one up at the pavilion
Yeah.
and one down by the entrance of the playground.
Right.
So that would be added
Well,
expense.
that was the original plan, was to have it concreted at the pavilion with a walkway
Walkway.
leading to the park, and then parking area in front of the park itself. So that was the original plan.
Yes, and we could actually literally do away with the walkway from the playground up to here by putting another parking spot up here.
Right.
And you would have, only thing we'd have to put a ramp or a walkway in from the parking spot into the pavilion, same way as the playground. So, I mean, it's going to cost you a little bit more money, but in the long run, it's not going to cost you as much as that you think it would cost. But we could do that. That could be part of the scope change that we wanted to add. We wanted to add more parking spots, ADA parking spots there.
You need a motion for that?
Yes.
I'll make the motion to apply for the scope change.
We have a motion.
I'll second.
Got a second?
All in favor to enact a
Yes.
Darrell Ellison.
Yes.
Ron Bumpus.
Yeah.
David Wood.
Yes.
4 yeses, motion passes.
Okay.
Thank you. I will get you a draft. I will get you a draft letter where you can put it on letterhead and send it back to me, and we'll load it up.
We'll
in
do
the
it
gym.
as soon as you get it to me. We'll get it in there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank-
Man, I
very much.
appreciate y'all's time coming up. Appreciate everything you've done for us on the park. It's.
Well, we're gonna do everything we can do.
Okay.
Promise you that. It's too interesting. Thank y'all.
Yes, sir.
Thank
Good
you.
to see you again.
Safe. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Okay, next thing on the agenda is, Sid, you got anything?
Can you hear me all right, Mayor?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, good evening. Yes, I've reviewed everything that Ms. Leal sent with the agenda and all that that was emailed to us, and everything looks fine. I didn't find anything that I need to comment on, and it all looks in order. No problem.
Oh, good. Okay.
I'll answer any questions you might have, but I don't see anything that it's going to be any issue.
Okay. Anybody? Y'all got anything for Sid? All right, man. We appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Fire chief.
So, a couple of updates here. We are hosting a American Red Cross class here on the 25th. Anybody's welcome. I'm not sure exactly what all it's going to entail, but there's a lot of good information. So, it'll be on the 25th. There's a memo on the door out there. All the information's on it. We're looking into a couple of different grants that are out there. So they're looking pretty good. Met with Leslie today and got the information we needed to look into them. They'll be 100% grants, no match.
Okay.
The little thing, we've actually been pretty busy this year. We're almost 40 calls for the year already. And we're not even to the busy side of the year. Usually August through December is when we get the most of our calls. So we're actually up quite a bit from last year already. We finished up a lot of the improvement projects. We've started a few little small ones that we're working on, doing them continuously, doing more improvements. Think of what else we had. And I think that's it.
So
Most of you,
the fire department went to the fishing rodeo. They go ahead and explain to them what you all did down there at the fishing rodeo.
So I talked with the mayor about it. We were called, asked to attend the Cops and Bobbers fishing rodeo down there. We had a full team down there all day for water support, water rescue support. Then it was a good deal. That was a pretty good event. There was a lot of people there. Luckily, we didn't have any issues, so that was good. But it was nice getting invited down there for that.
I appreciate y'all taking the time. I know it's all, like I said, volunteering. You use your own time, but we
Absolutely.
appreciate y'all being there and showing your support and for the safety end and the public
got
relation end.
Quite a few things planned this year, so we're looking into. I'm gonna go to a conference in Murfreesboro in August. Chiefs Association Leadership Conference. I think it's August the 2nd. I think. Yeah, August the 2nd. So I'm going to go down there to that, and it's going to be some new protocols and stuff like that. So different things that they've changed and for the new year. So
As far as this past weekend, 4th of July, I know the lake down here, everything was full. Nothing major?
no, we were quiet here now. Paris Landing had a pretty large event.
Did y'all respond did y'all help on that?
No, the county fire department did assist some, water search, but no, we didn't get involved in that, which usually when the county does something like that, we usually help stand in for them. They usually reach out and let us know, and in case they get something, they're busy.
Yeah. So most of the extra calls we was talking about earlier for the year, I know we're just halfway through, and it's already, like you said, it's already been more this year than in the past. Is most of them assist calls for the county?
Actually, not really. Most of these calls this year have been our calls.
Right here in the city?
Yep. Yeah, we've had quite a few more, which I mean, our calls have went up in the last 4 years. They've increased every year.
Right.
But you have a lot of new people coming in too.
We have a lot more traffic going to the lake.
Yeah,
I know this
exactly.
year it's been
So,
crazy.
Yeah.
The amount of people down toward Cane Creek, Danville, going to Leatherwood, Brownsville, coming through here.
It's getting to be a lot busier, that's for sure.
It is. It has that. For the first time, I noticed that this road here was crazy.
Yeah, I was actually shocked to see how many people were at the fishing rodeo. There was a lot of kids there. But one good thing is we are at full capacity.
That's good.
We got a pretty good team now, so I think we can keep everybody where they're at, and I'm pretty confident we can. I think it's going to look pretty good this year.
That's good.
I noticed that the 2 overhead doors have been ordered.
And that was the next thing. They were ordered this afternoon. We pulled the PO today, and I contacted them about 2:00 today, and they have been ordered. So he said probably about a week to 10 days they should have them. As soon as they get them, he'll reach out and we'll set it up to get them put up. And then that'll take care of those. And like I said, we're really starting to dwindle down on the improvements. One thing that I had mentioned to Leslie a few weeks back was something that really we hadn't really thought about, and not something that needs to be done right now, but something to throw out there that we might consider in the next year or two, is possibly putting in a backup generator on the fire station, just in case of, storm damage or whatever, or if we have to open it as a secondary shelter, things like that. I mean, like we had discussed, I mean, it doesn't have to be no great big giant one, as long as we can run what's in the building, to maintain. I think it would definitely be something that we ought to look at, in the future.
Do we have a disaster plan set up in case something like that did happen?
The emergency
Supposed
management
to have.
agency has all the disaster plans and who they need to contact, and so we just follow their lead.
But it would be nice to have at least a big enough generator to charge your radios and
Exactly. Open the doors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because
run the heat. Well, I guess it's gas heat, but run the heat and air.
Yeah. The about 2 months ago, that one rough storm that come through one evening, we had a guy right here at the S curves right here that they had lost power. A tree fell on the house right there on Church Street.
Right.
And he come down there, and he didn't have power, so he couldn't run his oxygen machine. And that was kind of when it's like, hey, it wouldn't be a bad idea. Because he come down there asking if he could plug it in there. And because he had called EMS, but they their units were busy, so they couldn't get to him right
Right.
then. So we let him come down there, and he had a battery backup unit for it. And we actually plugged it in and charged it up for him. So that
That's
way
good.
he could take it back home and use it until the power come back
Right.
on. But that was kind of the eye opener that made me think about it. Hey, if we didn't have power,
Right.
we wouldn't have been able to do that. So just something to think about, down the road.
Yep.
And Bill Hall, he's the EMA.
Mhm.
He contacted me during that really cold weather that we had in December, January. And we're going to start working on a plan to where we can offer the storm room as a shelter. So-
Extreme temperatures, hot
Extreme
or cold.
temperatures, possible disaster, tornado, flood, anything, because, we have generators here.
Yeah.
And the main purpose of having the building is for the community.
Right.
So we're going to try to get a plan together. Of course, when you do open it up, you have to have, people monitoring it,
Right.
24/7. Red Cross, they can come in, they can set up cots, that kind of thing for people. So there's not really a whole lot of areas in the county that
No.
have that opportunity where, you have a big enough space where you can pull some people in.
Yep.
Like that gentleman who needs to run his oxygen machine. So that's also in the plan. Of course, it'll have to be presented to the board and approved, but it's a good idea to have because, you don't want to wait until something happens. You want to get prepared for it.
And that was kind of the idea that I had in case we had to do that here and we had more than what this could handle, then we could take some down there as well. That's all I got. Any questions? Anything?
Thank you.
I'll keep you all posted.
Okay. Andy's not here. Did he say anything he's got on?
No, he didn't mention anything.
Okay. Next thing, unfinished business is, I hadn't myself had time to look at the commercial water rates and,
I'm still working on those ordinances also.
okay. If it's good with the board, we can table that till August. Good. That good, everybody? I don't think we need to vote on that, just table it.
Right, it'll stay on the agenda
Yeah,
until we
just
either.
stay on the
yeah.
agenda till we do something with it. So.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, anything else under old business? We go on to new business, property tax rate ordinance. And,
This is just an ordinance where we're accepting the certified tax rate.
on the tax rate from the county.
Right, from the Board of
Yeah,
Equalization from the state
yeah.
of Tennessee, yes. Mhm.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve the tax ordinance.
Second.
Second.
And this needs two readings, correct? So this is the first reading.
First reading.
To accept the property tax ordinance number 2026-328. The
Right.
vote, Mayor Odom,
Yes.
Darrell Ellison,
Yes.
Brian Bumpus.
Yes.
David Wood.
Yes.
4 yeses, motion passes on the first reading.
Okay. The next thing is the charitable donation application from the Houston County Lions Club. I seen the application here.
Mhm. All their documents are in order, so they filled out everything they need to fill out. I think they're asking for $250. I think that's what we have in our policy.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's what they're wanting, 250?
Yes.
Motion to approve.
I second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the Lions Club application.
to the vote, Mayor Odom,
Yes.
Darrell Ellison.
Yes.
Ron Bumpus.
Yes.
David Wood,
Yes.
4 yeses, motion passes.
Next thing is commissioner comments. Y'all got anything else to talk about?
That bump there behind Teeters is growing bigger and bigger.
That what?
That hump in the road
Oh.
behind Teeters is growing bigger and bigger, and I've had a couple of people say something about it.
Is that where we
I think-
fixed a water line at one time?
It's where we have a culvert and it will keep settling. So,
And I think Andy and them did something to it, in the last summer,
yeah, and it just keeps,
and it just
with all the
keeps-
rain and stuff, it just kind of washes up underneath
I
it.
mean, I rode over the other day and it's getting pretty bad. So I just don't want us to be responsible if something happens.
I know exactly where it's at.
It's a dip. That's what it's doing, it's sinking.
It keeps settling. I
It's
guess.
against the cover's rotting out from under it. Only way to fix it is dig it up and fix it, put a new cover in.
I don't know if the culvert is the issue or if it's just the water drainage there.
I guess we could,
So, I mean, I'll reach out to Andy and we
a
can
lot of
discuss
times,
what our
when
options
they lay on
is.
the bottom, they rust out and then they
Yeah.
start collapsing.
That water gets in there and washes it out
And they
too.
just keep washing it out.
If it's rusted
Now,
at
we
the
just
bottom.
replaced one on Old Stewart Road because, we had to replace that one crossing Old Stewart Road by
Right.
the city limit sign, so.
That would be a road closure to fix that though, wouldn't it?
Yes,
Yeah, we had to close off Old Stewart also.
yeah. You have to close it, you'd have to close it down too, reroute them around.
Oskaloosa.
Yeah. We can fix it, but of course, when you go back until you pave it, the coal mix don't really do a good job.
That's really the only thing we have available right now.
But I'm like you, it's gonna have to be attended to sooner or later. It is getting, I crossed it the other day. I can get Andy to go look at it, or if you can, ask Andy to go look at
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
Get over there, shine it and see if it's, what it's doing.
Try to
Do we
figure out
have
what's
a,
going
do we
on
have
with
a,
it.
do we have a camera?
It's 100 years old.
Okay.
It's 100 years
While we're
old.
talking, I know those cameras are expensive. It would be a good thing to look into, not this year, whatever, but we've got a camera at work, but it's great. I mean, you run into them pipes, it's wonderful.
These
Put it
new
on
ones now,
the, or you
we've had
put it
them.
on the back of a truck. It's not like a truck that's got a big, this one's, you put it on the back of the truck. It's like a big suitcase box. It's got a little camera. I can find out kind of what they cost, but I don't think it's like mega bucks or anything. It would be a good asset to Andy in there, for sure.
We've had to hire people to scope our sewer lines and stuff, and they are, I mean, they're nice.
I can make a note to have a discussion with Andy and see what's going on over
And
there.
Seth might have something he can run up there and look at it right quick or something. Just run that by Andy. And
Sure will.
anything else? Dave?
No?
So we're at the public comments here, so we'll let the ladies go first. Debbie, you want to come up to the mic? You want to address the board? Oh, you, okay. Okay. Johnny?
Well, there was about a dozen that told us they'd be here tonight. Just me and Shane.
Okay, that's fine. We'll,
First, I want to thank all y'all for your leadership. Without y'all, Tennessee Ridge wouldn't be the place to live. I want to thank Leslie for speaking with me the other day too and inviting me over here tonight. So, for those that don't know me, my name's Johnny Potts. I live over here on Adams Loop. I have lived in the city limits, Tennessee Ridge, for 40 years of my adult life. I'm a little over 40, but I've been in here 40 years. So I want to talk about the one-way street over here on School Street. I think Mr. Bumpus, the one that made the original motion. I was just wondering, you hear rumors, but I'm not here to talk about rumors. We'll talk about facts. I read in the paper as a safety issue. What is the safety issue?
We were discussing about when you're coming from Save-A-Lot, trying to make that turn on to School
Right.
Street right there. It's kind of a blind spot.
It can be. At night, it's a little easier because you can see headlights coming at
Yeah.
you, but it is, especially when that car is parked there where it ain't supposed to.
Right.
But, and myself, when I'm headed toward Graves Crossing, rather than turn on School Street, if there's 2 or 3 cars coming, then I'll keep going and I'll go another way. But most of the time I pull up enough that I can see and then I go ahead and turn. But it was optional. And it's not optional now. But is that the only safety concern that it was?
Well, what were we talking about? The school traffic coming through there too at one time, and
Yeah, the school, where it was a two-way and
Mhm.
people turning, all the parents that take and pick up their
Mhm.
kids from school. It was a safety issue about coming out of the school parking lot,
Mhm.
turning either way, but making it a one-way. You don't have people coming from south to north, where when they turn out on the road, or kids getting in the car right there. If some parents do park out on the road, that's what we were trying to stop.
Well, so think about this though. All the traffic that used to go down Adams Loop, at least the upper end of Adams Loop, till you get down in the turn. Obviously, if you live on around Adams Loop, you're going to go down Telegraph and around. But all the ones, me, Shane, Kimbrough, Mr. Winiger, Beverly Black, Brandon Fenner, all those people that go down Adams Loop, they're all going to go in front of the school now. So that's increased the traffic in front of the school. I mean, it's increased it. There's no, Adams Loop ain't, it's not I-40, but more traffic than you'd think. And now they're all coming in front of the school too. So, and I heard it was about speeders. The only thing that will stop somebody from speeding is a ticket. And if they're going too fast on School Street and you put them on Church Street, then they're going to speed on Church Street.
I think we did talk about before the one way about speed bumps.
Yeah.
yeah, like
Down,
yeah, it would be more like
A ticket helps more than anything.
it does. And
Well,
then, of course, then when you put speed bumps, ambulances and emergency equipment can't.
well, it would be more of it would be
Right.
more like rumble strips than a speed bump. So it
Right.
wouldn't add, it wouldn't impede traffic very much. It would just
And
make people aware that, you're in a school zone.
you
Slow
think
down.
about this, people speeding in front of the school, if it's one way, in front of the school now, they might go even faster because there's no chance of meeting a car. It's a drag strip now. And when it was two-way traffic going towards Old Stewart Road, by the time they get to the school, they better start slowing down or they're going to wind up Mary Spell's yard.
Yeah.
So, I don't know that speed in front of the school was really, I don't know. Do you know the ADT on School Street, the traffic count?
I don't, not at all.
Has
We
in
haven't
the
done
past
a-
year, has there been
I don't think
more
there's been a
accidents
study.
per month on School Street due
Well,
to two-way
think-
traffic?
Not on School Street. More accidents happen, I think, right in there where we were talking about people.
Well, and again, that's, in that curve, that's optional. You don't have to go that way.
It's been a few rear-ended that stop right there that
Well,
see
and that's-
around the building and,
Right.
Yeah.
That's really on the guy that hit him. He was distracted.
well,
Probably- I mean, that's on
rear-ended
him.
anybody, it's your fault. Right. Yeah.
So for me, and I had heard that, there wasn't going to be any school bus routes that was affected by this, but there is a school bus that comes up Adams Loop. And it stops up there at the end, and I'm pretty sure it did turn left last year. And I have been turning out onto 147 and met school buses turning in. So some school buses did use School Street. again, that would be optional for them. It wasn't mandatory they did. You know, if they had a hard time with it, they didn't have to. But I lived on Old Stewart Road for 10 years, and I lived on Adams Loop for 15 years. That's 25 years of me turning on School Street from both directions. I ain't had an issue yet. I hadn't run in anybody's yard. I hadn't, hadn't hit nobody. Nobody hadn't hit me. If I'm stopped in the middle of the road, and there's lots of places that you have to stop to make a turn, and you're just out there in the middle of the road, but I always keep an eye in my rearview mirror. If somebody's coming up on me too fast, just take back off. So I usually make a couple of trips back and forth to the house every day, once in the morning and the evening if we go somewhere. So it's, 2 for me. Sometimes on the weekends, even more, leaving home and coming back. My wife, 1 trip a day. Weekends, obviously, it's me. So it's 3/10 of a mile for me to turn on Church Street, Old Stewart Road, and then come back down School Street to Adams Loop. It's a little over 3/10, but let's just say it's 3/10 of a mile. If I do it twice a day, that's 6/10 of a mile. My wife does it once a day. That's another 3/10. That's 9/10 of a mile. In a year's time, that's 328.5 miles. That's a trip to Gatlinburg. And making that loop, I'm doing 20 mile an hour at the most, because you're having to stop, turn, stop, turn, stop, turn. So at the most, you're doing 20 mile an hour. In a year's time, that's 16 hours of extra driving. For me, it's the same thing for Shane and the others that live on Adams Loop. So I don't know. I just didn't see the big safety concern there. I don't know. Y'all may know something I don't know. Like I said, I didn't know if there'd been a traffic study, ADT, if accidents had increased due to two-way traffic. I didn't know, But I did watch the 2 meetings where this was made a motion and then voted on. And it was talked about the postal carriers and their routes. It was talked about the school buses. It was talked about Church Street handling the extra traffic. But there wasn't one time anybody mentioned the negative impact on the people that live on Adams Loop. Wasn't even mentioned. And, an extra 28 miles a year just driving around the block, that's pretty good impact, pretty negative impact.
I totally understand what you.
Yeah. Anyway, in my opinion, for whatever it's worth, it just seems like we tried to fix something that wasn't broke. Anyway, thank y'all very much for your leadership, for the community, and
I appreciate
if
it.
there's anything you can do
We're going to
if there's anything you can do to help us out up here, to help us get home from work a little quicker of an evening,
Okay.
we'd appreciate it.
Jane?
Like Mr. Potts said here, the only thing that I really would be concerned about, as far as the safety issues, when you do make the curve this way, turning in is a little more, you got to really stop and look. But the biggest concern is the lady that lives in that house right there in that curve. There's a sign in her yard. It says, "No parking on the shoulder." She parks her car right in the front door of her house every day. That's why you can't see. You could make that turn, no problem, if she didn't park her car in the front door.
I think we have addressed that in the past.
Yeah.
That is her property.
And-
She can park there.
You can?
Well, is there not the state has a right of way, I know. Is she not parking on the right of way?
They may have a right of way, but that is her driveway. And that that was one of the original buildings that was ever built in Tennessee Ridge.
Yes.
So it's been grandfathered into everything possible. It was the old trading post back when there was a railroad there. So her driveway is her driveway, and she has every right to use it. As far as no parking on the shoulder, it literally means the shoulder, not her driveway. So before her driveway, after her
is the
driveway,
shoulder.
it's like with Reynolds, they have their parking lot there also, where they have those apartment buildings. That's their driveway, that's their parking area,
I mean, another,
and that's her right to use it.
Well, her driveway's actually is the shoulder.
yeah, it is.
I mean, it is, but it's,
Yeah.
I checked into it.
And, another thing, like coming from this way now, I go in by the Ridge Restaurant and go around the backside of the loop. But like me and Johnny, we live all the way at the other end. There's no possible way two cars can meet on Adams Loop,
No,
not safely. It's a one-way street. I mean, I ain't saying I want it to be a one-way street, but there's not enough room for two cars to safely meet on Adams Loop. It's impossible.
Shane lives right across the street from me, so we're 3/10 to make the big one. It's 8/10 of a mile.
To come around the backside.
Go around Telegraph and then have to look that way. 8/10 of a mile that way.
I mean, it is what it
Believe me,
is.
I think all of us is phone. I mean,
Yeah,
we
we're-
talked to a lot of people. I have.
Well, there was a dozen or more that was gonna be.
Yeah, there's a bunch said they's
I
gonna be
know.
here.
I kind of shocked. They called me, said they was coming too. So.
But,
I know y'all have to make hard decisions sometimes. Sometimes they're unpopular, but I didn't get this one. That's why I just, what the safety concern was.
well, like I said, my only thing is if you are going that way, but like Johnny said, pull up there and stop and look, then make your turn if you need to.
They don't look good to you. At least it was optional.
Exactly.
Yeah.
At least then it was optional.
Yeah.
And if you can get rear-ended out here anywhere,
Mm.
if you
Oh,
do,
yeah.
it's on them. They were distracted. Or the brakes went out.
But anyway, that's all I got. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Shane.
I'd like to make one public comment about the rumor mill that was going around. Mr. Kelly did not approach any of us to want us to change that street. That was strictly done here.
Right. Yeah, like guys, you hear all kind of rumors. I don't know about rumors. I read the paper, safety issue. See what they were.
Well, with this internet and Facebook and everything going on,
My Facebook comments are limited to happy birthday and happy anniversary. I'll put that on Facebook.
I think, as part of being leadership, sometimes you have to say, maybe you made a mistake. Maybe it doesn't need to be one way, that's part of
Well,
what you do. Like, I mean,
I've thought about it too.
I know but I think it would just be a matter of pulling signs up, right? We don't have to move mailboxes
You'll have
back.
to rescind the ordinance.
Right, yeah, that, but I mean,
You'll have to make a motion. You'll have to have 2 readings on it, and I'll have to draw one up.
I've heard more negative than I have positive on my end. And that's just me
Well,
talking
I was
about
talking
people.
to, a lot of cities do a time thing too. If you want to do it through school hours, you can do it from 2:30 to 3:30.
Yeah,
That will let all the traffic be coming out one way. You'd have a circle.
Can I make a suggestion? I think that the best way to approach this is actually when school starts, do what you need to do if you want to, rescind the ordinance. But when school starts, we need to do a study. We need to see
I
how many.
agree.
I agree with
how
that.
many
I agree.
cars
I agree. I'm like, Brian,
travel
I
in
think
both
we might.
directions. And it's going to take several different times. It's going to take probably, me sitting there and recording and taking notes and gather the data that, you all need. Sit there at different areas, see how many people actually turn in School Street, traveling east, going, and see what we're looking at. And if it comes
PDOT might
back,
also be able to help with that, with it being a state highway right there.
the
where
state
carrier-
highway can do that. They're coming, when they're turning into School Street.
'Cause that was the main
Rest of it
concern
will
about
be
the
us,
safety
yeah.
was right there. So they could help with that part of the stuff.
I mean, we can request it, and whether they'll do it or not, I don't know, but we can request it. And then once you get your data, and once you have something concrete and factual to
Right.
look at, then, you can make the decision if you want to put the signs back up.
Uh,
Well,
we discussed it a couple of months before, like you said, but we didn't hear any. I mean, I know a lot of people, this is boring. Nobody wants to sit and watch this on Facebook or whatever.
Right?
I mean,
I think
it is, it's boring. I mean, I don't, but, when it affects people, I mean, we're all up here together. This is, we're not in metropolitan Nashville. This is Tennessee Ridge. And I know everybody, y'all know us. And we can sit down and talk without being slammed on Facebook like I was slammed by some people. And, come up here and talk to us. I mean, we're all in this together. So, yeah, we're going to do something about it. We're going to do a study and it's what it sounds like it's going to happen anyway. So I appreciate y'all coming up and being.
And we could couldn't we suspend the current ordinance? Couldn't we suspend it pending the outcome of a?
I'm sorry, we're recording and we can't hear Mr. Allison speak. If you all are speaking in the audience, can you just give us one moment? So what you can do is you can make a motion to put the ordinance on hold for a certain date. Give me a few months, whatever. And then let me come back to the board with the data that I can gather, look at it. And at that point, you can decide whether or not you completely want to just change that ordinance and you'll just make another ordinance, changing it back to a two-way street. Or you put it back into effect a certain date.
Or we can look at the time thing.
Exactly. I mean, there's several different options you have, so.
So I would recommend, if we're going to do the study, turn it back into a two-way street and then do your study to see what's, what I mean? Like, that would be my recommendation. I would
What I
still.
meant by saying, could we not suspend the current?
Right, yeah.
Not do away with it yet, but
Right.
suspend it until we get the study done, and then we'll know whether we want to replace
Absolutely.
it
You just need a
or put
motion
it back
for that
into
one.
effect.
Just a motion to suspend the present ordinance till we get a study from.
For,
who's
you
doing
know,
the study?
additional data can be,
Well, Leslie, as she's gonna do this, or if I can't, if I got time, I don't mind doing it either.
I mean, I'll take any help, because there's gonna be different areas that I'm gonna have to sit.
And
it's gonna
might
have to
check
be-
with TDOT and see if they could,
And I'll
Johnny may
contact
know more,
TDOT
if they
about,
got somebody that can do something like that or whatever, I don't know.
for the state highway, they won't do our city streets, but.
No,
um,
state, we're more concerned with the curve anyway on the state.
Exactly. Yeah, I'll definitely contact them, see what they can do.
And people coming from like Grace Crossing or Mobley Lane.
Turning into School
Turning
Street,
into-
traveling west.
If the school's coming out and you've got a delivery truck trying to turn in, well, he's got to stop right there in the curve on 147, or either the people that are coming out or going in, they got to back up to let the truck have enough room not to run up on Mr. Kelly's property. And then now you're stopping traffic on a state road.
I mean, I'll need at least a
But I
couple
don't know
months to
if
get the data right.
Do what?
I said I'll need at least a couple months to get the data right, and then, of course, I don't know how long, if TDOT can even help me, but,
Okay,
we can easily cover up the signs with bags.
okay.
You can.
No mailboxes has been moved or nothing?
No, because we didn't have to do any of that.
Okay,
I can contact the Board of Education, I'll contact the bus garage, let them know for the time being. It's gonna go back to a two-way street until we can do some research and gather some data.
okay.
And then, once you all get everything back that you need, then you can look into it again. It's just a matter of putting bags over the signs at this point.
It wouldn't hurt to put a Facebook thing out there to
Oh,
everybody else to
oh,
make
yeah.
sure they know that it's two-way again.
Yeah.
So we have a motion to suspend.
Yes.
For how long?
How long do you need? 2 months?
I'm gonna say October meeting.
So you don't think we need to wait and try it, and see how the school opens?
I can't get data if it's a one-way street. I can't bring back any
Yeah, I mean,
information
I
if
think,
it's
I
one-way
think school
street.
opens.
I think we need to see, I think we need to see how it affects the school with the two-way street. Because if we leave it one way, we're not really knowing what it was doing before we made it a one-way street, right?
But it's been two-way for how long?
Yeah, but we've never done any data. Every,
So, why would we need to suspend it?
You don't know how it's gonna affect it now.
Right.
Right.
gonna do a study, to me, I would think you would do a study as it is one way,
Right.
and then see if it's.
I mean, it
better.
depends on what kind of data you all want.
You don't have anything to compare it to.
It's completely up to
If
what
it's
you want.
easier for all, you know, the parents to get in and out of school faster. It's not blocking any traffic flow on either Old Stewart Road or School Street. I mean, it could back up, we don't know, but we don't know until school starts, and let's see.
The way that pickup line looks, anything short of a traffic cop out there directing traffic, I don't think anything.
The original issue was Church and School Street and safety of children in the school.
Yeah.
And then it evolved to, you know, the state highway. So you need to kind of look at all of it, the whole entire area, not just the state highway.
And how,
We can-
and how traffic
It's
flows
totally up to
back
you all,
on
how it affects people, how they're having to, you know, go around when school's letting out and so forth. It just, it's however you, what data you want to look at first.
Do we have the ability to borrow traffic counters? Someone,
Everybody's looking at you.
I could ask, you know, we've got
Johnny, you come up with one of them somewhere?
Well, I'm not with T-Dot anymore.
Oh, that's right. I'll keep
But
forgetting.
yeah, let me go, when I go back to work tomorrow, I'll see. That would be the best thing to traffic count.
and then you could, you
And
get the
wouldn't have to
time,
sit out
day
there.
and everything.
You know, one person wouldn't have to sit out there counting traffic.
Right.
I
We
mean,
just-
that's
That's
what
what it
it's
used to
gonna
be.
be. It's gonna be, you know, whoever wants to volunteer to help me.
Right, so if I can get you a traffic counter, that would be great. You wouldn't have to be sitting out there for hours and hours. We were the traffic counters one time.
Well, I can remember when I was younger, they hired people to sit and count out of section cars. They'd sit there with a notebook and count them. T-Dot would. Yeah, that's been a long time ago.
I would just record and then go back and look at it.
They was a lot slower then though, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Horseback.
Yeah, it wasn't gravel roads. Mules.
So whatever data you want to start with is where we'll start. So if you want to see how
Well,
it affects
I'm kind
school
of-
traffic, then
I'm kind of like just maybe backing up and starting all over again and do a study before we make a decision. That's my opinion. Suspend it. I'm kind of with Darryl on the suspension things, but whatever. Whatever y'all want to do.
I'm here to work at your will. You just tell me what you need and I will provide it.
I made my motions.
We do have a motion to suspend till October 1.
I'm gonna second that motion.
We have a motion and a second.
All in favor? Mayor Odom,
Yes?
Darrell Ellison,
Yes.
Brian Bumpus.
Yes.
David Wood,
No.
3 yeses. Motion passes.
Okay. Any more public comments? Debbie, you ain't got nothing? Shane?
For the donation, the Lions Club, thank you for passing that, or approving that donation, appreciate it. And continue your support in our community. We really need, we need you to work on the traffic issues out here. We really need you to work on the traffic issues out here. So keep that in mind as you're meeting and thinking about how to better your community, as work on your traffic control. And, you know, because your area's grown, it's not like it used to be.
No.
It's not the same kind of people out here that care like we do. The ones that's always lived here. We care because we've been a part of this community for 50 years where other people have not. We were raised here, we love it here, and we care about every one of you. We want to keep you all safe. And we don't have that kind of people here that we were. So keep on your good work and what you're doing here. And really work on these traffic.
Okay.
New people, new generation of people that we don't know has come here and help us show them what community is like that cares. I appreciate all
All
of
right.
that.
Thank you, Dave. Shane, you have something else?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask if y'all are gonna do the suspension on the, when will that take effect?
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow, we'll bag them tomorrow.
I've been going the other way because I don't want.
You're the only one who lives, I don't know if Johnny is or not, but I shouldn't say only one, but look, he's smiling at me, so I don't know. Okay, you're the only one then. But we appreciate you following traffic. Yeah, we'll cover them up tomorrow.
Passes it every evening and has to go to Sable Life.
And turn around, go back. I understand. It's muscle memory, so we'll have a bag in the morning. The guys will bag them up and then I'll make
And
a
we'll,
post.
I'll get with you on what we need to look at and see if we can get T-Dot to help us and maybe us look at stuff too.
I'll ask about that counter.
Okay.
I'll see.
We really do appreciate y'all's interaction with us. A lot of times, like the mayor said, if we don't have any interaction from the people that may be affected, we don't really realize what the effect's going to be. So we could have probably done this study on the front end had we had this conversation beforehand.
The real negative impact is on the people that live on this end of the loop.
Yes.
But as far as the other, like I said, the traffic that goes down Adams Loop now, you put them on School Street. And, it just wasn't making sense. So you don't know something unless you ask a question.
That's true. We're gonna look at it a little closer and we'll see what the outcome is on it then. So, no problem. Anybody got anything else? Leslie?
No, sir.
Anybody? David? Brian? Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion, make a motion.
You got a motion here, a second? Second.
Who made the motion? Oh, you did?
Oh, you made, okay. Who made the
I
motion?
made the motion. David made
I
the
thought
motion. Somebody
We
made the
had
motion.
two motions.
I think all three of them made a motion.
I'll second it.
Thank you, sir. We have a motion from Brian Bumpus, a second from David Wood to adjourn. The vote, Mayor Odom,
Yes.
Daryl Ellison,
Yes, ma'am.
Brian Bumpus.
Yes.
David Wood,
Yes.
4 yeses, motion passes.
We're adjourned. Thank you all.